There's been a lot of talk about NATO lately and about how Donald Trump's rhetoric about acquiring Greenland would end up affecting NATO and how it could ultimately break NATO apart. Now, Donald Trump wants credit for saving NATO, despite the fact that he has talked numerous times about getting rid of it and saying things like, do we really need it? Is it still important? Things like that. Now, Donald Trump again took to Truth Social today saying if it wasn't for him, NATO wouldn't exist anymore. And I have no idea what he's talking about. NATO was running just fine before Donald Trump became president during his first term. He didn't do much with NATO during his second term. Yeah, he put some pressure on NATO member countries to increase their GDP spending on defense, but that didn't change anything with NATO as far as that went. It just meant they were spending more on their own defenses. NATO wasn't called in to do anything during his administration. And then he went on to say that he's done more for NATO and all in his typical BS. But let's look at Biden. During the Biden presidency, he added Finland and Sweden, numbers 31 and 32, to NATO. He added two new countries. And Ukraine may have gotten membership if it wasn't for the Russia-Ukraine war that is currently going on, that Donald Trump had claimed he could end in 24 hours after being president, but it's still going on almost a year later. Actually, he said he could end it in 24 hours after being elected. Now we're about 14 months away from that. But that war is still going on. Joe Biden did more to stabilize NATO than Donald Trump ever did, and now Donald Trump is doing things to destabilize NATO. And then he goes on to say also that, well, do we really need NATO? Would they be there for us if we needed them? Here's the thing. Article 5 of the NATO Charter says an attack against one is an attack against all. And it has only ever been invoked once. And that was in 2001 after the September 11th attacks. We invoked it, and NATO came to our aid in force and helped us in Afghanistan and Iraq. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He just says things that he thinks sounds good and hopes that it catches fire because he says he saved NATO, but he's got nothing to back it up on other than the fact that he increased their spending a little bit. And even then it wasn't significant because there wasn't a need for them to increase their spending because NATO hadn't been put under any serious threat. And our spending far outpaces them. But he wanted the spending because he views NATO like a checking account, and he thought maybe there was a way he could grift off of it. Donald Trump did not save NATO.